Frittata!
Sorry, I was just vibing. You know that song by Sublime, Scarlet Begonias? That's exactly what was playing in my head as I imagined all these soy jack Nintendo fans trampling over each other at a Walmart or Best Buy, running to get their little tablets that they could get any other time of the year. When you think about how much Nintendo plays a role in population control with how these people outright annihilate each other trying to get these things, really makes you realize that Johnny Silverhand was right all along, and it made sense why he was trying to blow up corporations. I seen Nintendo transform full functioning adults into children. I would never fight to the death over one of these tablets. I mean, I wouldn't mind having one for the channel to report on things, but do you really need a Switch to talk about Nintendo? If you have a Steam Deck, you basically have a Nintendo Switch. If you sail the high seas, of course. Just a quick reminder that this video is brought to you in part by Frittata's Lawn Service. We are less than 200 subs away from the magic 80K, the number that will change my life forever, and not for the better. But if you really want to make a Popsicle Stick's dreams come true, we aim for the magic 100K so I can get that silver play button and show everybody around me in my personal life that I didn't just waste it. Yeah, you got your college degree, but where's your silver play button, bitch? Oh yeah, and of course I'll face reveal myself unboxing it. But anyway, I've been watching RGT85, the biggest Nintendo YouTuber who's not a Nintendo YouTuber. And he's been taking notice that Switches are actually in stock, in stores right now. Now, I feel irresponsible telling you this. I don't want to hear about any local Targets or Walmarts broken into and then being traced back to my channel just because I gave you this info. Hell, RGT85 is so desperate, I kind of outright, jokingly of course, encouraged people to steal one for him, and he said he'd pay you a high price.
Maybe one falls out of the cage and somebody brings it home and they're like, well, I don't really want a Nintendo Switch 2, but I know RGT does, and I know he wants to get one early. So then you DM RGT and you'll make, I mean, trust me, you will make good money selling me one of these early. I don't want you to get caught. I honestly don't want to know how you got it. That's none of my business. My business is trying to get my greasy mitts on one before everybody else.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Truth is, I would like some of that money myself, so where can I buy ski masks? I mean, I hate to be a bearer of bad news to RGT85, but if you pay that top dollar, as a matter of fact, if any of you are paying top dollar for early access to a Switch 2, I've got bad news for you. Well, good news for me because I like seeing Nintendo people suffer, but bad news for you guys because your tastes in gaming are quite literally for children. So expect to be treated like a child, which is exactly what Nintendo is doing to everyone. Earlier this month, we talked about how you're not gonna see day one reviews for the Nintendo Switch 2, and it's all entirely to be blamed on Nintendo themselves, as there's a day one patch that's supposed to be rolled out. Thing about this day one patch though is it basically makes your Nintendo Switch 2 a paperweight until the official release / launch day of the console. A lot of people want to throw excuses out like, oh, you know, Nintendo did this to ensure nobody could pirate or emulate the system. Reality is, no, Nintendo did this so that there are no reviews or negative reports about any faulty systems at launch. That's why they did it. You really think Nintendo is doing this for a security measurement? It goes without saying though, of course, nobody is supposed to have this device right now, but we didn't think it would be this bad. As we speak, Nintendo has far more control over the system you handed them money for than you do. You don't really own the Nintendo Switch 2 until Nintendo says you do. And even then, it comes with big restrictions. So you're probably wondering, what is the user experience like for those who actually have one in early access right now? What are the games like? What's the backwards compatibility? Is there Joy-Con drift? There's literally nothing to know. Nintendo locked the Switch 2. It needs update to function, so I am waiting for June 5th to unlock it.
Get what you fucking deserve!
Another person shared with me that they have a Nintendo Switch 2 as well. I have no permission to post pics, but I can share that when they try to boot a Switch 1 game, a message prompts, please connect to the internet and update your system. Needs update to boot a game. Well, hold on. Call me crazy, but didn't Microsoft catch flack for this with the Xbox One? Isn't this Literally the thing that killed the Xbox One? A bricked paperweight that can't work out of the box without an internet connection? Why is Nintendo getting a pass on this? Now, I understand by today's standards, that's quite normal. Most things require the internet. All gaming devices are basically tethered to it. When it comes to systems like Xbox and PS5, or even PC gaming, file sizes are ginormous and require the internet. But when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2, we're finding out that most things are going to require the internet for it, even if the file sizes don't justify it. For instance, Street Fighter. We all thought that that game was gonna come with all the DLC on the cart. It turns out people are finding out, no, the DLC does not come on the cart. You gotta go download it. Bravely Default, that ain't on your cart. Yakuza, not on the cart. Sonic X Shadows Generations, not on the cart. And the list goes on because, these are physical carts that don't have the games on them. Like, we've gone over it a bajillion times. That means the Switch 2 is not as reliable of a portable device. It means you have to download everything at once before you leave with your Switch 2. Long gone are the days where a handheld meant it was that, a handheld. You put the carts in and you can play whatever the hell you wanted anywhere you went. Buying these games on the road would be a mistake practically. Well, yes, the internet is available just about everywhere you go. By today's standards, this is not that big of a deal, but it was more than 12 years ago when gamers were in uproar over such an idea. Well, rightfully so, because everybody back then knew what that meant. That meant there was a future where you don't actually own your physical media. And we're here. The predictions all came true. Xbox did start this trend, and Nintendo has decided to also do the exact same thing, but even greedier. Yes, I understand there's no mandatory online check-in, but with how frequent people's Nintendo Switches are connected online to download quote-unquote physical media that's not actually physical, you're already doing your daily routine. It's just amazing to me to see how far removed we are from a decade ago, where gamers outright ensured the Xbox One failed as a system to send the industry a message, and it clearly didn't work. This is something you didn't have to do with the Switch 1, by the way. Just letting people know. Now, this first batch of Nintendo Switch 2s will probably be the only ones that require this day one update. Anything manufactured afterwards will probably just work out of the box. If not, that's a measurement that's a little too far for even Nintendo, in my opinion. But once you receive the update, it will be the only update you need. Hopefully, anyway. It's crazy to me, too, how, fanboys online are celebrating this. And their reason for it is because this way it ensures nothing is leaked. Like, what is going to leak? Don't go online looking for anything, for starters, if you don't want to be spoiled. And also, what is there to leak? Most of what's coming out for the Switch 2 is all multi-plat games that have existed everywhere else for years now. Are you really gonna miss out much on seeing what's in Mario Kart? There's nothing to leak. We already know Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD Remake aren't actually on a Switch cart, and that's a game key card. What exactly does Nintendo not want people to see for the next 9 days? Just unlock the damn things. They shouldn't even be here in the first place. It's honestly in consumer interest if the system was unlocked so people could be doing analysis on ports, reviews on performance, just letting consumers know more. I don't think any little small leaks out there are crucial to Nintendo, unless, of course, they're leaks for hardware defects and issues that could be happening, which Nintendo most certainly would love to silence. To me, it's just outrageous that there are people out there paying scalping prices, taking this thing home, all excited, rubbing their hands together, only to find out they can't play it. And you get what you fucking deserve. No sympathy from me. Imagine paying $1,000 just to not be able to play this. In general, to me, the idea that there's hardware on the market already that can't be used until a company snaps its fingers together and officially goes online when they say so is wild. I mean, that is a very high level of control. Not that I think Nintendo is gonna abuse it, but this is the type of shit that gamers were actively against over a decade ago. Is there much to ponder about? I don't know. That depends on the type of person you were a decade ago. Now, however, you probably don't view things that way. And that's actually perfectly acceptable to a degree. Accepting that games need internet connections and internet updates, that's reasonable. Accepting that a physical, or I mean, quote unquote, physical game cart needs the internet, that's not only e-waste, but also wallet waste. It's one of the most pointless steps in the industry, but it's a measure put in place to remove actual game ownership. And one thing leads to another, but whatever, you know, don't want to get into a whole slippery slope fallacy. But a world where your console must be connected 24/7, which the Switch 2 is not, but it's, you know, just one step below that. A world like that means that console manufacturers can shut off your system whenever the hell they feel like it, and it means they can collect a lot more data on you. We're so far removed from where we were like even 12 years ago, it's kind of insane. I guess this video is more of a reflection on how far we have shifted. But you know, things like this do make me think to myself, what if it is like this for every Switch 2 and not just the first batch? What if in years from now, after the console has been discontinued and Switch 2 servers go down, how are you supposed to actually activate one of these things? I wouldn't even attempt to tamper with the device to get it working ahead of Nintendo's planned release, because what happens if you do finally go through with the update and Nintendo notices you did that? Boop! Brick your console. That'll teach you. But whatever, you know, it's just another day one patch that's been normalized after years of combating it. I don't know what to say to that. Hopefully the benefits of online connectivity outshine the negatives, but this is giving companies more and more control over what you've already paid for. Gonna be streaming Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific time. Be sure to be there. We're gonna have one hell of a show. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. On the road to 80K, and I'll see you in the next video.
Fritango sucks ass.